I need to know, are there certain black people that just don't like us because we're white?
Absolutely. Next question, please.
Oh, so fabulous.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel once again. It's your girl Dumebi Leah. If this is your first time coming across my channel, you're welcome to my channel. I do hope you decide to subscribe, and if you are a returning subscriber, you guys know that I love you. It's so good to have you here. Welcome back once again. So my usual disclaimer, please, this video is strictly for educational purposes. Do not go searching out anybody that I talk about in this video. Don't send them any form of hate comment, threats, or violence. This channel does not support any of that. So I came across a video that is going viral of a palm-colored woman who had something to say basically about her interaction with black people. She had a question for us black folks. So let me just roll the clip.
I'm gonna get in trouble for this. I already know it, but you know what? I need to know, are there certain black people that just don't like us because we're white? This is something that's bothered me for a long time. I just never feel like I can talk about it. I never feel like I can talk about it because I'm white. And I know I'm white. I'm so white, okay? And I'm not even being political or racial or anything. I just want to know from my black friends out there on TikTok, like, are there some black people that just don't like us because we're white for no other reason? Because I'm like friendly to everybody. And there's assholes of every color. Let's just put it out there, okay? There's assholes of every color. But I sometimes think that there's certain black people that just don't like me because I'm white. Is it in my head? I don't think so. So this is a genuine question. Don't be racist in these comments. Don't you be racist. I want to know, are there certain black people that just don't like us because we're white? And what can we do? I'm scared. Maybe I'll delete this. Okay, bye.
So after watching that video, I saw that she had over 8,000 comments and 3,000 likes on the video. And whenever the comment surpasses the likes, it shows you that that video basically got a lot of outrage or reaction or responses. It shows you that people were not really digging whatever the person had to say in that video, right? So I went into the comment section and I saw some other videos that she made in responses to some comments that people made on that first video. But there were two videos that stood out to me, and let me just go right ahead and play those other two videos.
Okay, so the conversation was really meant to spark like a dialogue, because I feel like, I don't know, there's a part of me that thinks like I'm not allowed or can't say anything about it because I'm white. And I feel like there is a lot of phoniness and fakeness, and there's a lot of people that don't want to talk about it because they're afraid to get canceled or whatever. So personally, I just brought it up because I wanted to have a discussion. Sorry, I'm out of breath. And I would say it's a 40-60 split, like 40% good dialogue, 60% went all the way left, in my opinion. Maybe it was misinterpreted, and I can understand how like a video like that could be misinterpreted because it was like, you know, a little bit longer than a minute. I didn't give much context. It was more just like an open-ended question, and I can understand how like it would be taken the wrong way. Just to give a little context, I was I was a waitress and bartender for like 15 years, and I worked in Philly. I also lived in New York at one point. So like, I'm not some, you know, sheltered girl. And I'm going to be honest, like maybe even 80% of my interactions with black people have been positive, because I am the kind of person that, like, even if you have an attitude, white or black or whatever, like I try to disarm you and just keep like, I get it. Some people don't trust me. So it's like, okay, like maybe they don't trust me, but we will build a relationship in time. But that's like longer relationships. I'm more talking about like quicker interactions. Like, okay, so when I lived in New York, I lived in predominantly black neighborhoods, and when I would be walking down the street, I would get called, you know, names, or get out of our neighborhood, or, you know, like stupid white C, bitch, you know, like all these things simply for just being white and no other reason. So if people are saying they could read my vibes from walking down the street, that's a little insane. People were quick to say they just don't like you for you. And I can understand why they would say that, because I didn't provide much context. So with people that I actually interact with, I don't really experience that, to be honest. I've made a lot of wonderful friends throughout the years of all races. And even if someone was a little leery of me at first, I usually can win them over time, because I don't really push myself on someone. But my video was more talking about more quick interactions, or strangers, or, you know, not a friendship or a relationship or even an interaction. And I got a lot of mixed comments about it. So I don't know. I hope that helps. I feel like the more I talk, the worse it gets. And I'm sure people will be mad at me for this one too. I'm trying my best to explain myself, and as much as I think about taking the video down, like, I feel like I can't take it down because I know my intentions, and I can't be like, and now that I'm getting heat on me, like, if I take it down, what does that show? That just shows that, you know, I can't handle it, and I can, and I want to talk about this, and I want to have open discussions. But anyways, I don't know if I haven't, the coffee hasn't kicked in, but I hope that helps. The main thing I'm getting is, why not ask white people? Okay, here is my thing. It goes without saying, and I think we all know that there is a lot of racist white people. That is talked about all the time. I, as a white person, can acknowledge there's a lot of racist white people. Lots of them. Everywhere. Some are closeted, some are out there, some are in places of power. Obviously, there were slave owners. There's a history of white people being racist. So we know that. That is talked about all the time. However, as a white person, I wanted to talk about if it happens on the other side. Now, I'm not going to use the word racist because apparently that's the whole thing. Prejudice, I guess, is the right word. Are there black people that are prejudiced against white people just because they're white? That's the conversation I was trying to have, okay? Because I know there's a crap ton of racist white people, and I have no problem admitting that. But I was curious on the flip end how it works, and I wanted to genuinely learn this because TikTok is a big platform, so you can have discussions with people you would never meet in real life. And I feel like if we're open and listen to each other, we can actually learn. Unfortunately, this is stressing me out so bad, and some of these comments are really hurtful. People calling all white people evil and predators, and I can't carry all of that on my back. I have enough on my shoulders just being a single mom raising my kids. I can't carry my ancestors and what they did on my back. All I can do is educate myself, learn from it, treat everyone individually. But I'm not going to say, I'm not going to have that thing where I'm like, I am responsible for everything that's ever went wrong with racism. I'm not. Do I have empathy? Yes. Can I learn from it? Yes. Do I treat people like that? No, because that's just not how I am. And there's no way for me to articulate this in a way that maybe comes across right. But I just want to say that I know there's a lot of racist white people. My point was, as a white person, to ask this question, to see if I was missing something. And guess what? I learned a lot. I learned more than dislike. It's mistrust. That's the number one thing I saw, mistrust. I did not know that, nor did I think about that before. But some of the comments were really ugly. And I had a black woman stitch me and say that I should be smothered. So there was a lot of hateful comments. Now, personally, I don't think I deserve that because I didn't do what the people in history did. And I'm so sorry that happened. But all I can do is move forward. I knew this would open a can of worms. I knew it, but I'm the kind of person who obsesses about stuff. But I think I have to step away for a little bit. But I do appreciate all the comments, and I do appreciate all the perspectives, except for the nasty ones calling me evil and all white people are evil. And I mean, come on. I know that's not true because I know it's not true, but it's really sad that people feel that way. And honestly, it's really sad that so many black people don't trust white people, and I understand why to an extent, but it actually makes me really sad that we are still this divided in 2024.
So now, first things first, she seems confused, the confused palm-colored woman with good intentions who cannot understand why, despite her being nice, black people don't like her. I'm nice, I smile at everybody, but yet I get treated a certain way. So I want to know, is it just because I'm white? Are there really some black people that just don't like us, no matter how nice and friendly we are, just because of the color of our skin? And then take note of the fact that when she made that other video clarifying, she stated that her interactions with black people, over 80% of the time, it's actually nice. So the little 20% of interactions with black folks who probably are not in the mood to kiki with her is actually what got her worked up to the point that she had to come and make this video on TikTok to ask black people this question that I feel anybody with common sense who knows the history of black people and white people's interactions in America would know. Well, a lot of people made responses. Let me just go right ahead and play people's commentary.
I need to know, are there certain black people that just don't like us because we're white?
I want you to take this question, reverse it, and go ask your grandparents. You said in your follow-ups you're just trying to understand and you don't want to have to continue paying for what your ancestors did. Are you fucking stupid? Do you not see what's been going on in recent years? Less than 4 years ago, we just had a whole protest about Black Lives Matter because police officers keep killing Black people for no reason. Are you not aware of everything that's going on in the world right now? Because everything that's going on in the world right now is at the hands of people. Let's use logic here. And if we also really want to get technical, segregation was also not that long ago. For context, segregation ended in 1964. My father was born in 1964. So this year, 2024, will be 60 years since segregation ended. A lot of people who are around during segregation are still alive to this day. You mentioned that when you lived in Black neighborhoods, they would tell you to get out their neighborhood. Of course, because they look at you as a gentrifier. Because all do is come to Black neighborhoods, buy up all the property around it, and push Black people out and push up the rent prices when they rebuild it. You guys are not for us. Therefore, we don't trust you. You're trying to make yourself a victim when you're not. You are just as complicit in racism and all these things that you think you're not. You are. You're complicit in it. You benefit from it. So why do you expect us to trust you? You get to sit here and benefit from the atrocities that have done to Black people, Muslim people, Arabs, Hispanics. You get to sit here and benefit from all of that. And yet you have yet to question. You have the nerve, the audacity to question why we don't like y'all.
There's certain Black people that just don't like us because we're white. This is something that's bothered me for a long time. I just never feel like I can talk about it. I never feel like...
That's a lie. You don't care about any trouble because you know that your whiteness insulates you from that. And as far as you caring about something for a long time, you didn't care for a long time because you would talk to some of those Black friends you want us to believe you have in your circle. And I'm not answering your question because you don't care about an answer to your question. You just care about clicks and views and taking to social media to seem like you're just so concerned about what Black people think.
For no other reason.
This video is for educational purposes only, and it's not even really addressing this person. Because honestly, it wasn't a genuine dialogue to begin with. Just two things. First, if you're asking this question to Black people on TikTok, that either means that you don't have genuine relationships with Black folks in your life that you could ask this question to, or it's a disingenuous attempt to get views and build your platform. The second thing is that we live in a racial caste system. So we're all born into a social hierarchy based on race. We didn't create that, but we inherited it from the people that did. And they used it to subjugate and oppress Black people. That system has been in place for centuries now, and it continues to this day. So while you think people should like you because you're friendly, you're still white. And you still represent and embody the oppression that Black folks experience in this country. So rather than worrying about if people like you, maybe start thinking about why they don't trust you and your friendliness.
Are there certain Black people that just don't like us because we're white?
It's not that we don't like you. We just really don't trust you. And then you don't give us any more reasons to trust you, so we keep on not trusting you. But then white people like yourself will be like, oh, why don't any Black people like white people? Without realizing that it's not an issue of liking, it's about trust and the history we have. So then we don't like you because you're failing to grasp the point that at least I feel is entirely obvious. And that is, I'm not going to inherently trust you just because you exist. You need to do something to earn that trust.
So Sarah Jessica has decided that a good way to get views and followers to her page would be to disingenuously ask the Black community if there are Black people who do not like white people because they're white. Answering the question with a simple yes is too simple, although accurate, because I feel like nothing said after that initial yes answer is going to be heard or acknowledged. I feel like it will only be a matter of seconds before we hear "that's racist white people," accompanied by the historically tried and true white woman tears. The tears of narcissism. The tears of self-centering and self-victimization. This question wasn't asked with the intention of truly understanding why it is that there are certain black people that just simply don't like white people because they're white. You see, if I were to answer the question believing that it had been asked in good faith, I would explain that throughout all of history, the people who have racialized themselves to be considered white tend to exhibit, historically speaking, and historically documented, damaging and dangerous behaviors that stem from the social belief that that racial category that their ancestors created for them holds some sort of value, or even in some cases means that they are superior or inherently good. That belief that anything not white is bad, or taboo, or demonic, or witchcraft, or evil. That belief, the belief in which our entire society was built upon, and indoctrinates us into believing since the day we open our eyes, that is what powers many of the thoughts, practices, opinions, and actions of white people. You know, finding a white person who is capable of self-reflection is rare for most black people, especially those in America. And finding white people who don't subscribe to whiteness is even more rare. And whiteness is anti-black. So, now because trauma is passed down through DNA, and the majority of black trauma can be traced to white people or whiteness as the source. As an act of self-preservation, some black people simply do not like white people because they are white. And no, that's not prejudice, because prejudice is not based on reason or actual experience. It is a trauma response at the hands and even turned backs, colorblind eyes of white people to the lived experiences and the consequences of the thoughts, actions, and beliefs that whiteness instills in white people that cause some black people to not like white people because they're white. But again, I know this question was not asked in good faith. It was asked so that it could have a bunch of people that are black say, yes, there are people that don't like white people because they're white. So that white people could in turn say, see, white people experience racism. So she could get views and she can get new followers.
Certain black people that just don't like us.
I'm so sick of you blonde-haired, blue-eyed Neanderthals that always come with this type of bullshit. You really want to know the truth? Guess what? We do not like white folks collectively. We don't like y'all as a group. We don't like y'all as a crew. We don't like y'all as a community. We can't even say culture because y'all really ain't got none. But we like y'all individually. If 100 white people showed up at my goddamn door, I don't know which one of y'all is fucking racist. We like y'all individually. We got to take time to get to know y'all because y'all will Kobe Bryant. Y'all will do all of these things to black men. Y'all will come up and run up on us black women up in stores being Karens and all this other shit. No, we don't like y'all as a group. Stop fucking asking. Leave us the fuck alone.
Because we're white.
Now, I'm not going to answer that part about whether black people don't like us just because we're white, but later down in the comment section, when someone asks you for like an interaction that you've had with black people, and you say that you're just so nice and you get blatant rudeness back, like, elaborate. Like, you're being so nice, and what they said back to you wasn't how you wanted them to say it. It didn't make you feel warm and fuzzy inside. It was straight to the point and assertive. I don't know the situation, but a lot of white people think black people are being rude when they are just getting to the point. Maybe they don't want a small talk. Maybe they don't want to shoot the shit with you. It's not rude. If white people had the same interaction with you, would you say they were being rude, or would you just, Is it because it's a black person that is saying it that makes it rude? And really, I don't think black people are looking for us like that, so.
So over and over again, you see people in the comment section talking about how, why can't you guys just leave us alone? It's almost like every 2 market days, there's always one palm color person having one silly question to ask black people or making a comment that doesn't really make sense. And we just want to relax and be out of you people's mouths. Leave us alone. You also have black people in the comment section answering her saying, yes, there's some black people that just don't like palm color people simply because they are palm color people. And then you have some palm color people also in her comment section talking about how, yes, this is a valid question. I've always wondered the same thing. And I'm like, really? So this woman is actually speaking for a bunch of other people who claim to be very oblivious about why some black people may have their guard up when it comes to palm color folks. And you see, when black people say palm color people always have us in their mouths just because they want to go viral, this definitely proves it, because her regular videos don't get more than 1,000, 2,000 views. But you see, this particular video is over 200,000 views. So look at the spike. She's getting the views. She's making that money very possibly as well, because some people's TikToks are monetized. So she very likely is monetized, making money off of that video. And mind you, she was like, oh, I know I'm going to get into so much hate for making this video. I might take it down, but she didn't take it down. Why would you take it down when it's your most viral video and you probably are making money off of it? Does that make sense? It is beyond me how anybody in America today would not understand why black people don't want to be friends or want to avoid some unnecessary interactions with palm-colored folks. And as a matter of fact, I believe every black person in any part of the world has a reason to be wary of palm-colored people, or in fact the entire non-black people, because we have experienced anti-blackness and racism from people that are not black, not just palm-colored people as a whole. Now, I'm not justifying black people being prejudiced to people of other race, but I'm just saying, if a black person is wary of any other person that is not black, especially palm-colored folks, especially in a country that is predominantly white or a predominantly non-black country, it is very, very understandable. Because look at the history. Look at the history of every group of black people all over this world. Which group of black people have not experienced anti-blackness or racism that dates back to decades and generations ago from palm-colored people and other non-black people? If you go back in history to any group of black people in any part of the world, we have had these negative interactions with these people. So it is only smart for any black person who knows their history to be wary of these folks, because sometimes they might smile at you, but you never really know their intentions. So we have trust issues. How can we know to trust you? How can we know to let our guard down? How can we know that you are different from the rest of your folks? Every black person who is going to have a kind of personal interaction with a palm-colored person, especially in a country like America that was built on racism, has to vet them personally. You can't just let any of these people come close into your space without vetting them to be sure that these people don't have some hidden biases against you and people that look like you. I see nothing wrong in that. And the fact that they expect black people to always want to make friends with them or to be friendly, make them feel at ease, give them this warm and fuzzy feeling is also a problem. Because why? Especially if we're in like a work environment, why do I have to be your friend? Why do I have to hang out with you after work? I'm here to do my work and leave. You know, her expressing how it makes her feel, realizing that some black people don't just like white people simply because they are white. It makes me think about the fact that, okay, probably now she might have an idea how black people actually feel, because that is the life we live. There are a lot of palm-colored people actually that just don't like black people simply because they are black. And guess what? These palm-colored people didn't just dislike or hate these black folks. They actually acted on those negative emotions towards black people, and it manifested in different ways. It has manifested in anti-blackness, in racism, in white supremacy, in slavery, in colonization. So palm-colored people never had any genuine reason to not like black people, but black people have tons and tons of genuine reasons to not like palm-colored people or to not trust them. And anybody who doesn't understand that at this point, I believe, is just willfully ignorant. I want to know what you guys think about this conversation in the comment section. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.